Hello everyone. So we have the Lantern Festival coming up right now, and when it's fully out, you should be able to get the opportunity to choose a free 4-star leeway character. Now, the question is that you should probably be asking is which one should you be choosing, because this is an opportunity that you should not pass up. And there are 6 leeway characters. So something to know when you're watching this video is that one, we're going into the assumption that you're choosing a C0 character. So meaning that we're going to be assumed that you don't even have this character at all. Second thing is that we're going to go into this assumption that you only have the starting characters for character teams. So I believe that's the Traveler, Amber, Kaya, Lisa, Noelle, Xiangling, and Barbara. There we go. And then the last one is that I'm not going to talk about Xiangling because you already are going to have her in the beginning. So we're going to assume it's going to be for the rest of the 5. So let's go with Chongyun first. So for Chongyun, we're going to go with pros and then cons. So the first thing is that he has an attack percent boost. And then one thing I realized when I was doing these pros and cons is that I think all of them actually has attack percent boost in some kind of manner. So you're going to see that's a pretty common theme for all of them. His E ability is actually very unique. So for those of you who don't know, it basically makes everyone's attack cryo. So if it's sword, claymore, and pole arm, then they are going to be cryo. Now the thing is that this can only be if they're physical. And then his Q is extremely fast. So what I mean by that is that it's an energy cost of 40, which is the lowest. And then his E ability, I believe it also reduces the cooldown for the allies. Nope, I got that mixed up. His E ability actually reduces their normal attack speed. So as in, they're going to be faster when they're doing their auto attacks. Now, the cons for Chonggyu is his role is supposed to be a main DPS role, but the thing is that if you have a really low base attack, then that's not going to matter too much. I know it says attack percent, but when you go into the late game, what you're going to realize is that attack percent actually is not going to matter as much. The biggest thing that's going to matter is crit rate and crit damage. So that's Chongyun. I wouldn't choose him as your free 4-star character unless you have a good reason why, or if he's like your husbando. It's one of the two. Now, Beidou is also a claimer user. 4-star, so the base stats aren't going to be the best, but she's extremely tanky. 13k health. I think everyone else is at 10k, but she's at 13k. So that's a huge pro. And then she does have a electro percent damage boost, which is actually pretty nice. Now, I remember seeing some videos. I don't play Beidou that much, but her Tidecaller, you are able to get some massive burst damage with this if you're able to do it right. Now, some of the issues is that if you take a look at her base attack, it's pretty low. It's only 2 higher than Chongyun, so it's not that much better. And then the thing is that her burst is 80 point cost. That's extremely long for a burst. So you're going to take a while to be able to do the burst for this one. And then the main issue is that her huge potential on how much damage she can do is actually extremely locked by her constellation. So if you take a look at her constellation, I believe Stormbreaker's Arc, that's her burst. So this can jump to 2 additional targets. Right now, basically how a burst works is that if you hit an enemy, it only hits that enemy with electro damage. Now, that's only once. If you have this on, you could do it to 2 additional targets. So you hit one enemy, it will hit another enemy, then it will hit another enemy. I'm trying to remember because I believe this can also apply to the same enemy. So if there's no 2 enemies around, then you can hit the same enemy 3 times. Don't take my word. I don't know if that's true. I don't play Beidou that much. Now, this is the one why they're saying C4 is that within 10 seconds of taking damage, Beidou normal attacks gain 20% additional electro damage. So basically, if she's taking damage, then she's going to do more damage. And then the thing is that a lot of her kit is more like, even though she's a main DPS role, she's very tanky. So they're trying to establish her role as more of like a trying to take damage like a counter. Unfortunately, Beidou is not a good choice as well, especially at C0. Maybe at C4, but the thing is we're working with C0 characters here. So I wouldn't choose Beidou. Ningguang is Catalyst user, so she's Geo. And what's really nice is that she has a Geo damage percent boost, just up to 24%. She's a bit unique because when you attack with her, she gets something called a star. Where is it? Starjade. And then from here, you're able to do a lot of damage based on her passive abilities. So, because what's really nice about her passive abilities is that even though she has a geo damage percent boost, I believe she gets even more. Right here. She gets a 12% geo damage bonus for 10 seconds if you pass through her E ability. Basically, sprouts up a shield. When you sprout out, it does damage, so it's pretty nice. And then this one is when she has Star Jades, her charge attack does not consume stamina. So what that means is that when you attack with Ningguang, you're gonna attack throw. It's basically like you're throwing rocks at an enemy, and then each time you throw a rock at an enemy, you get a rock. You get another rock floating around you, basically, and then it stockpiles up to 3, I believe. Now, when you do a charge attack, you throw 2 rocks, and then the 3 rocks that you stockpiled, it will all attack the enemy, which can obviously deal a lot of damage. If you haven't figured it out, she's mainly supposed to be a main DPS role, so you want to do that. And then the thing is that the reason why she could be good is that she is a Geo character. What that means is that she's universally good on almost all elements. And then the thing is that what's really nice about her is that since she's so stacked up on herself, she doesn't require synergy with other team members. So for example, Chongyun, he's going to be giving other characters cryo applications, or he might need some support on trying to deal more damage or something like that. I feel like Beidou also needs some help. But the thing is, Ningguang is because of her kit, she's practically good by herself. Now, but the thing is, the main con with that is that since she's Geo, she has no elemental synergy with other team members. I mean, it sort of works out because she can be a team by herself, but it's so strange. She's extremely squishy. That's another con of her. So what that means is that she could die really fast if you're not careful. If we compare it to Beidou 13,050 or Chongyun is 10,984, was basically 11k. Hers is at 9.8k. So you gotta be careful when playing her, and that honestly doesn't help with her other con. Is that she can be a bit tricky to use. So for those of you who are watching and have seen how Ningguang plays, you have to sort of cancel her auto attacks in a way by moving forward in order to maximize the damage. That's what you want to do. So I think it was auto attack, then charge attack or something like that, which can be a bit tricky to use. And it's auto attack, move forward, auto attack, move forward, and then charge attack. So she could be a bit tricky to use, and then if you F it up, then you'll die pretty quick. And then unfortunately, she's a catalyst user. I believe most catalyst users, they have pretty low attack. So hers is 212, lower than Chongyun's. But the thing is that she has so much boost from Geo and everything that it actually she still does so much damage. But the thing is that for those of you who don't know, catalyst means that she only does that element, meaning that she has no physical damage. So Chongyun and Beidou, they both have claymores, so when they attack, they will be doing physical damage. Ningguang, she only does Geo. So if you're up against someone who has high elemental resistance to Geo or Geo slimes, you're sort of effed. But you can't do anything against them with Ningguang. So I know we ended on a bad one for the cons, but Ningguang is actually a really good character. I would definitely choose her if you're starting out or you need a main DPS role. So if you don't really have anyone else, Ningguang is definitely a character too. Okay, Xinyan. Xinyan is basically the rock star. Let me see, another claymore. I didn't realize it. Everyone's a claymore user in Liyue. She's a claymore user. Attack percent is boosted. Her kit is a bit strange. I'm trying to figure it out still, but she is a pyro unit. Pyro units are always the best. However, hers is a bit weird. Even though she's a pyro unit, her status is pyro, so that's gonna help. If you want that attack boost with elemental resonance for your team, she's mainly a physical damage user. So what's really nice about that is that I know Fatui agents or Fatui what's that called? Electro mages, they have lower physical resistance compared to the elements, so it actually helps out a lot when you're dealing damage to them. So universally, she could be good against them. Now, one of the issue is that she's pretty hard to build. Now, what do I mean by that is that in order to make a good, viable team with Xinyan, the team makes up Xinyan. Meaning that if we were to compare it to Ningguang, Ningguang is good by herself. She doesn't need anyone else. She can get extra support, but she's pretty good by herself. Xinyan, she needs the support from other characters. 2 reasons. One is that her burst, Rift Revolution, is an energy cost of 60. This is where all of her damage is going to be coming from. Because the reason why I say physical kit is that she does physical damage. Majority of the damage is going to be physical damage, and then she does so much damage from this as well. So you're going to want to be doing a physical kit with her. But the thing is that you don't want to be, if you're depending on your burst the whole time, you need to have high energy recharge. So you need a battery. And unfortunately, you're going to be pretty limited if you only have the free to play character. I know the two batteries I use the most that I'm aware of is Bennett and Venti. Venti, that's impossible to get as of right now. And then Bennett, that's, you could probably get him in the Xing banner, but the thing is you need to pull him. That's, luck is involved in that. And then the thing is that another issue is that she's potential locked. These two things. Upon scoring a crit hit, she increases her attack speed by 12%. So she's able to be faster in these attacks. Now, the second thing right here is that Rift Revolution's physical damage has its crit rate increased by 100%. The guaranteed crit on that. So she's potential locked because you want to have C2 Xinyan to be able to do so much damage on these characters. However, if you're at C0, you definitely need to rely on the other characters in order to be able to do a lot of damage on other good characters. She has a good base attack, honestly. 223, 225 for Beta, and then Xinyan is 249. She has a good base attack, but you need a good team in order to utilize Xinyan well. So if you don't have a good team, I would not pick Xinyan. Unless you have a C1 Xinyan, and then you pick her, you get C2, then she'll be good. Okay, last one, Xin Xiao. I used to think his name was Xin Shu, but I double checked. If you look, I'm always starting from here. I checked on their voices, and his is Xin Xiao. Surprisingly, for me, at least that was surprising. I want to say these names right. So, once again, we have attack percent. So right off the bat, Xin Xiao is going to be really good. When I was like on Reddit, the two characters I see the most being recommended, like, because everyone's like, which 4-star should I choose? Is either Ningguang or Xin Xiao. Those are the two main characters. I don't think you're going to be choosing Xin Xiao, but let's talk about him first. So first, he has attack percent, which is great. He's going to be a sub DPS role. So what I mean by that is that he's going to, so his, oh, that's not his E. His E right here, basically it helps you with two things. It reduces damage if enemies are hitting you, and then the second thing is that it does a Hydra application, which is going to help out your main DPS elemental resistance when they're attacking. So if, let's say, for me, I have a Diluc. If you use Diluc's E, which basically does pyro damage, and then they already have a wet status on them, then I could do the vaporize effect, which does a lot more damage. So he's really good as a support, as putting elemental synergy. That's the word. And then the second one is burst. His burst is really nice. It stays for a long time, so 15 seconds. High energy cost, but we'll get to that later. His cooldown 20 seconds, but the thing is that's about like a 5 seconds. What's really nice about his burst is that during that 15 seconds, you're constantly doing damage with your other character. So if I had a Diluc again, and then I activated Xin Chao's Q, went to Diluc, and I start attacking, his swords would be applied on every attack that Diluc does. So that's really nice as a support character. So that's why a lot of people are saying choose Xin Chao or Ningguang. Xin Chao will be able to give you that extra damage. And what's really nice is also that he gets a 20% hydro damage boost, and then he regens health. Now, the cons. Long cooldown on his skills. For those of you who did, what was it? Spiral Abyss Stage 10. So Stage 10, it used to be like, in order to avoid getting destroyed, you need to have a hydro unit dealing like hydro application on you. The thing is, his cooldown was so long, it sort of screwed up my team in a way, because I really depended on, I don't remember the sword. It was either Sacrificial or Favonius. Might not even be those two. But basically, the sword skill was that I have a probability of being able to reduce the cooldown to 0, so I can activate it again. I depend on that so much for that. So very long cooldown on the skill. Burst is high cost. So what you saw was at 80, so you definitely need a high energy recharge team. one of the best teams I heard was that you would want the Luke, Venti, and the Bennett with Xing Chao, because that energy recharge for Venti and Bennett will do well to recharge everyone. Diluc is your main DPS. Xing Chao will be your sub DPS in doing that E application and then the Q application. And then unfortunately, his potential is hard locked by Constellation 6. The reason is that he gets energy recharge from that C6. So, and also a lot of his swords greatly increase the damage of it, all his other ones. So, but what I would say honestly, if you at least have a C1 Xing Chao, maybe you want to choose it, because you get an additional range sword, which is really nice for C1. And if you do C2, then you're able to decrease the Hydra resistance hit by sword brain attacks by 15%. So you do more damage with Xing Chao, unless your main DPS is also Hydra, then that boosts them. And it extends it by 3 seconds more. So if you can get at least a C2 Xing Chao, maybe he'll be good. If you're completely new and you don't have any of these characters, except Xiangling, you should be getting Xiangling. If you don't, you should report it. I'm not sure why that's happening. You should make sure you do Spiral Abyss, obviously. Ningguang is your character to go to if you're brand new. If not, I would choose Xing Chao if you at least have maybe C1 or you're really close to C6. So that is my opinion, and these are what I think of what you should be getting for these characters right here. So thank you all for watching. Leave a like and comments on which 4-star character you're going to be choosing for this event, and then I will see you all in the next video.